Behind me is an F22, and there's also another one, but that's not where it ends. We've also got another F-Series chassis that I'm going to be revealing in today's video. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you'll know this is my M235i, and I have had so much fun in it. But unfortunately, it's time to let go of this one because I've moved on to this. This behind me is my 2016 BMW M240i, and this thing is unreal. It's literally ready for the track. It's like a track weapon. The power is insane, the handling's insane, and it looks incredible. Let me just show you guys the yellow DRLs here. Look at them. Don't they look absolutely incredible? But to any of my subscribers that have been watching for a long time, you would have seen this car before. Not in the same state it is now because I've done quite a bit to it, but you've definitely seen that one before. So let me show you exactly what we went to go collect yesterday. So behind me is the garage door, and now it's time for the grand finale and the big reveal. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. And here we have it. Let's show you.
Pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely.
I'm only messing with you guys with blurring it. Here is 2018 LCI OG M2, and it has the N55. Everything me and you guys will still love. And stay tuned because in a couple minutes we're going to get a sound test between all three cars, N55, B58 and an M N55. And the M2 has something very special. As you would have seen in the montage, it's got an M Performance exhaust. And I tell you what, on the drive home with that and that, when this thing was overtaking me and we were having some fun, it was screaming. Honestly, it beats the tone of the M235i every day. So as we are now sitting inside of it, I thought, why not give you guys a little talk through about all the modifications on this car and all the optional extras, because it is a really high spec. And honestly, it's an incredible car. And my favorite thing is this thing right here, the M Performance. It's the track mode kind of exhaust valve gadget thing. However, you can use it anytime. That's what I've been doing. And the cool thing about the LCI clocks on this, it gives you a temperature gauge. None of the F-Series BMWs I've ever had have a temperature gauge for oil or water. So having one on this is incredible. Let's give it a little blip now. It's the same N55, basically. I know there's some different changes ever so slightly. However, it sounds so much more aggressive. It sounds like the N55 in the M235i is just a budget, cheap Chinese version. And this feels like German engineering. I don't know what they've done, but it sounds incredible. Interior is beautiful, but that's not really what you guys clicked on the video for. We've got some carbon bits, basically standard interior. However, it is very, very fancy. Alcantara on the sides. However, let me show you guys this thing. So this is it closed right now. If we double click it, it's going to open the valves and this thing will be way louder. There we go. Did you hear the valves open? So that's the valves open now. That is kind of its loudest setting. And then if we double click again, closed. So this thing is such an amazing extra. The fact that you can have it loud when you want to actually have some fun and take it on track, for example, and the next minute it can be nice and quiet on the motorway. But you guys didn't click on this video to see it closed. So let's open it up and get this thing warmed up so we can have some sound comparisons soon. Now, the only other modification this M2 has regarding exhaust setup is a Sports Cat. It goes from Sports Cat to the resonator to the M Performance exhaust, and that's it. And honestly, listening to it, it is the perfect setup for tone and sound. It sounds phenomenal. And basically the only other modifications on this M2 are some very, very small wheel spacers, and then we have a few carbon bits fitted to the car as well. And apart from that, it's completely stock. Now, what do N55 owners fear the most? Rod bearings, you could say. However, the charge pipe is one big issue. On the M235i, it's fixed. However, on this, it's still a plastic one. So as preventative maintenance, just so we don't risk any chances with anything, we've got an aluminium one coming and we're gonna get that fitted. And then in the future, we can maybe tune it. And this OG M2 also comes with the icon lights. And these things, when it was following me and I was in the 240, they look insane. Now imagine those in a yellow DRL format. I personally think yellow on that would look 10 times better than yellow on this. Out of wheels, I'm not the biggest fan of the OG M2 wheels. However, silver on that colour car, I think that would look insane. Let me know in the comments what you guys would advise for wheel setups on this. I'd love to hear what you guys have been doing to yours. So while the M2 is warming up, let's get the M240i and the M235i warmed up so we can compare these exhausts. So the M Performance exhaust is open. Here we go. Alright, next up is a flyby. It wouldn't be one of my videos if you guys didn't get to hear this car driving past. I will be making a video very shortly in the next coming week about why I only buy manual cars. However, the DCT in that M2 is slowly changing my mind. So I've never heard an M Performance exhaust before, but when I've heard this thing in person now, I can see why people want it so badly. It sounds incredible. If you guys get to hear one of these in person, do it, because it's one of the best sounding exhausts on the N55 I've ever heard. So I just played that video back on my phone and it's not as loud on the video. It sucks. I need all of you viewers here personally so you guys can actually hear what that brap sounds like. On the M235i with the custom exhaust on that, it sounds like something breaks. On the M2, it just sounds like perfection. It's insane. And now I think it's time to hear the B58 and the N55. And here we go. Now it's time for the M240i, my car. I need to move away, this thing's too loud. It got covered in water. Man, that's loud. Okay, now it's time for probably the loudest N55 here. Yeah. That thing is stupid. So now I want to know, out of the M235i or the M240i, the M2's gone away now, however, out of all those three cars, which one sounded best? So now that the big reveal is done on the OG M2, I really hope you guys like it. Now, a lot of you guys who have been following the channel for a long time will know that you've subscribed to see N55 content, specifically on the M235i. However, now that I'm moving towards a B58, things are going to be changing. But it's good news, because now you've seen with the reveal of the OG M2, the N55 isn't going anywhere. That one over there is, however, the one in the OG M2 is staying for a long time. So now that big reveal is done, I thought I'll quickly just talk to you guys a little bit about what's been done to the M240i, because obviously it looks a lot different to when you guys saw it last. So we'll start off on the rear to start with. We have a full carbon fibre diffuser. Bear in mind, I just got back for like a 400-mile round trip getting the OG M2, so this car is absolutely stinking. However, we've got the carbon on the bottom, we've got the carbon tailpipes, we've got the anniversary badges, and then the wheels. Oh my days, the wheels. These are what I was absolutely buzzing for. I really wanted to try silver. As you know, we had Japan Racing in the kind of bronze on the M235i. However, I wanted to try silver on white, and I think this looks incredible. Let me know what you guys think to that in the comments below. And if you look in there, to all the keen viewers with a keen eye, you'll be able to see the yellow from the Bilstein shock absorbers. These things are incredible. I will make a full video on them if any of you guys are interested. However, we have got upgraded brakes and discs on the front, OEMs on the rear, and then obviously on the front of the car, which is the most aggressive part in my opinion, we've got the black eyelids to go over the actual headlight itself, and we've coded out the white beam so that it's just the yellow DRLs. And then obviously we've got the M2 style kidney grills, front splitter, anniversary badges, and then we've also got carbon fibre and mirror caps. And I did forget one more thing, the side skirts. We have side skirts fitted on this too. So I know that was fairly detailed about what I've done to the car. Obviously I can go into a load more detail in a separate video. And I'm not going to talk about this one today because I have made countless videos on everything that's been done to this car. However, this one still has a very special place in my heart. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm getting really thirsty, is we're going to head to the shop in the M240i. I'm going to show you what this thing sounds like and how it goes, because this car is stupidly fast. And it's fully warmed up, looks good. Let's head to the shop. And then my job for this afternoon is to give this thing a clean, because it is absolutely stinking in every shape and form. Alright, drinks have been secured. And with these Bilstein, like EDC shocks, honestly, the ride in sport feels like you're on track. This thing is nuts. The overall wrap on this thing, right, here we go. It gets louder and louder the hotter the exhaust gets. And the even truer air intake, listen to this. This car just wants to just go. And we're finally back. I got my favourite drink, the Lando Norris Monster Energy drink. Really nice, it's one of my personal favourites. However, that's going to be kind of a wrap for today's video. I really hope you guys are pleased with the decision that has been made for the channel and for the future. There's going to be so much more content coming. Now we have two engines, the B58 and the N55. The M240i N55 will be going. However, there's been so many videos on the channel of that. It's just time to move on and say goodbye to that engine. And there's loads more coming for this M240i as well as the M2. Both these cars can go on the track, no issues. You don't have to worry about oil starvation or anything like that. So there's going to be so much more content being able to come out regarding track focus stuff and loads more. And I'm back in the M235i. A day I didn't think I'd really see. However, this car, it's made the channel. Like I made in the previous video about which one to sell and which one to keep. This thing has to go, but there's justifiable reasons for it, as you guys would have seen. We've now got another M55 on the channel. If it was an M2 competition with the S55 engine that was bought, I'd be a bit more reluctant to sell the M235i. However, now that we have a much better N55 in an OG M2, obviously it makes sense to get rid of the M235i and say goodbye to that N55. And there they are, both of them sitting over there. The M2 with my M235i, something I never thought I'd see. And obviously, like we've seen in today's video, the M Performance back box is such a crazy mod. BMW nailed it again with the tone in the N55. Now I've heard that in person, it has sold me to the OG M2 sound. The comp, in my opinion, doesn't sound anywhere near as good. The OG M2 is the only way to go. Anyway, really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, you can give it a like. If you enjoyed it, you can subscribe to see loads more content like this. Like I've mentioned, we've got M240i content coming, as well as OG M2 content coming. So there's gonna be so much more. So hit subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And apart from that, really appreciate every single one of you that has watched today's video. Have a really good rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.